Hi everyone, it's Lynnea. Welcome back to the Missing Stamps YouTube channel. Today I am working with the Big Mug stamp set as well as the Pumpkin Spice stamp set. These are both two of the smaller stamp sets from the release earlier this month. And I'm also going to be using those Latte Love little shaker bits. They look like cute little mini coffee cups, like those to-go coffee cups. They are white, but they have an iridescent shine to them, and they really seem to pick up the colors that are around them. So I'm going to use them to create a shaker card. So to start with my shaker card, I'm going to start my background, and I'm going to use a variety of orange colored inks, and I'm starting with one that's kind of more reddish, so it's a red orange, and then I'm going to go into a bright orange, a light orange, and then kind of like a dark yellow. So I'm just going to have a nice ombre color on my background. You can use any inks that you have. This totally does not matter. I'm going to create a frame. I used my paper trimmer. If you have a die that creates a frame, that would work just as well. I don't have one, so I just used my paper trimmer. I cut a piece of cardstock to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and then I just used my trimmer and cut out the center of that to create a frame. I'm going to line the frame with double-sided adhesive. You want to make sure this is a strong adhesive, and I'm just going to peel off the backer, and then I'm going to lay on a piece of acetate. You could use clear packaging if you have packaging that you're going to be discarding. I didn't have any, so I just used my acetate. I'm going to use foam tape all around the edges. Now I have a special double thick foam tape. If you're not using super thick foam tape, you want to make sure that you're doubling up your foam tape, because you want to make sure that all those little Latte Love bits have room to move around. And you also want to make sure that you are going to seal up your frame completely. So see how all 4 corners my foam tape touches? That way my little shaker bits won't fall out. I'm going to shake some of those Latte Love shaker bits inside, and then I will put on my ink blended cardstock piece and seal that up. Push pretty heavily all around on the foam tape to make sure that seals up. And then check that out. Look at those cute little coffee cups inside of my shaker. Now the outside is going to be super simple. I stamped out this gnome from the Big Mugs stamp set, and I'm going to just color him up really simply. This is probably my favorite gnome from this autumn release. I love how his little beard kind of drips into his coffee cup and then spills back out. I think that's just adorable. I'm going to keep my coloring simple, and I'm going to keep my coloring in the more warm tones family. So I'm using some brick red colors, I guess I would call them, some browns, and a little bit of orange. And then I'm going to keep his beard. I wanted his beard to be white, but since I'm going warm tones with all my coloring, I decided to go warm tones with his beard there as well. So I'm using, I'll be using W2 and W0. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I color quite simply. I'm not an expert in coloring, so I keep it simple. I use 2 colors for each marker blend. Just start with my darkest one and then blend it out with my light. There are definitely more elaborate ways to color, but for me, I'm a quick and simple, easy coloring kind of girl. I just like to get it done and trim him out and kind of move along with my card. So I wanted to have him on top of my shaker, but I thought that it was looking a little plain. So I die cut a stitched little, it's not a frame, it's like a little square with a little bit of a scallopy edge. And I'm just going to ink blend all around the edges. It's that same ink that I used on the background, so I know that it'll match. I didn't even need to pick up any more ink. I had that much extra left on my brush. I stamped out a sentiment from the Pumpkin Spice stamp set. This stamp set you can mix and match to create a whole array of sentiments. So I stamped that onto some white cardstock. I trimmed that out, and I'm going to add everything on top of my card. I'm using foam tape behind the gnome and just regular liquid adhesive behind the sentiment. All that's left to do now is to just add a little bit of sparkle to my little gnome, and then I also added some of those orange enamel hearts. That finishes my card. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Bye. Thank you again very much for watching this video. If you liked this video and you'd like to see more from me, please hit that subscribe button that is on the screen now. And here are a few other videos that I thought you might enjoy.